Earlier today I shot a video about the perils of talking too much, but I realized I forgot one concept, and that is how you can avoid talking when the situation almost begs you to talk. So I told the situation of three different events in my past, and I think I might come up with a few more as I make this video. I had a manager at a company that I had worked for a couple years ago who apparently wanted to get rid of me for some other reason. And he would make a comment that I had made some sort of mistake, and when I would try to respond to him, he would often leave big gaps of not speaking to kind of elicit more comments from me. And I think he knew I had an unease with silence, and he maxed out that advantage to his benefit. What I could have done is, well, we were at a meeting that was one-on-one. What I could have done was, after I said what I needed to say, we were working with software, I could have gone back onto the computer and did something and waited for him to speak. I think that would have been... the idea is that you want to motion that you are done speaking and get on with something else. With the issue with selling the coins, what had happened was at the time I was meeting with the potential buyer in my office, if I remember correctly. He came in and he spent a lot of time looking, and he started to ask me about where I got those coins. How I how do I know any other dealers? And he was a regular repeat customer, if I remember correctly. And he got me to just talk and talk and talk. What I could have done was, since I was really in the comfort of my own office, I could have told him, his name was Dave. I could have said, Dave, I got other things to go to. I'm open. You can call me at between 3 and 5 tomorrow, and we can get back to this. And just ended it there. I really allowed myself to go on and on and on because he was looking at the coins, and he kind of used that as now that I think back at it, he used the time browsing to kind of force me to talk because he was silent. He was looking at the coins. It was kind of forcing me to talk. I had a situation I talked about in the previous video where I was buying a car, and the car dealer kind of was forced into talking because I was silent. Because what had happened was, just before signing over the purchase agreement, I had called my insurance agent to make sure I could insure the car, and I realized that my license was temporarily suspended and I needed to retake the test. And I was thinking about what to do, and I have a tendency, when I get into a bad mood or something, I don't like to be talking. It's too bad I didn't get into a bad mood with the other two situations, but I didn't want to be talking. I was thinking, I was strategizing. It kind of forced the dealer to talk. Let's flip the table around. If I were the dealer that day, now knowing what I know, what I probably would have done was, I would say, Andrew, why don't you go home and you can call me back tomorrow anytime between 9 and 10, and let me know how the insurance go, how you feel about taking the driving test, and we'll come back to this. And he didn't really have to lower the price. I was prepared to pay the asking price, but it turned out in my favor. I have a tendency to do this a lot. The other problem where this sometimes works to my disadvantage is that sometimes I have a tendency to defend things that I really don't have to. When I'm at an event, I talked about in my last video, I have a restricted diet. I have some health concerns, and my family has some medical history, and so I have a restricted, and plus I have an addictive personality. So certain foods, it's easier for me to just completely to avoid. Sometimes I get into a very long-winded discussion about it, and if it's between family members who are with me no matter what, it might not be the end of the world. At the workplace, it's another issue. We like to talk about being fair and all that, but let's face it, you have a coworker who you think that he's going to die as soon as he touches the wrong food. He's a liability. And a lot of times that's how people look at me. It's not true, but people, it's unfortunate, the biases do exist. The problem is that sometimes people, they go silent, and then what I need to do is to switch the conversation, this is a workplace, this isn't a food event, and yeah, don't feel like that there has to be noise. If it helps, depending on the context, you can even turn on some music or something, if you feel there has to be noise, but just don't talk, because when, like I said in the previous video, when you talk, money flows out of your mouth. So when I was sitting at the desk with the coin buyer or trading coins or maybe buying the car, that might not be a terrible time to turn on some music on my cell phone. That might not be the worst thing in the world to do. Now that I think about it, just don't talk. Thanks for watching.